All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Talking Giants, coming to you with the Week 7 film review. And the Giants are 6-1. I'm feeling good about this team. They're doing things well. That guy, number 8, has been playing awesome the last 5 weeks and continuing. Just seems like he's getting better and better every single week. I thought he did some really good stuff escaping the pocket, manipulating the pocket in this game. Drops got him a little bit. So I was very happy with him. The run game kind of got going as the game ended, and we're going to show some plays where, they literally ran the same exact play 8 times in a row to finish the game off. On the defensive side, I thought this was their worst game, which is a good thing for them, that their worst game, they only gave up 17 points. We'll go through some of the key plays that they made and key plays that they didn't, but some really bad stuff they had in the run game. But we'll get into all of it. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into it. Week 7 film review. I don't know why I said week 2. All right, first play. This is a play we've seen a lot on the film review the last few weeks. You got 2 tight ends, under center, play action, deep post, and then the cross by Slayton. It's called Yankee. Now, it's a little different on this. And Slayton ends up dropping this, which isn't the main part of this. But it's actually a good job by Slayton to not carry this out here, which is really the original design. I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's post snap, seeing the way this corner's playing and flattening this out. But either way, it was called. If they did call this up, this was called at a good time. And also, I like, even though the corner doesn't really go for it, I like changing some vertical cell there by Slayton. Ends up dropping this. The ball's on him. But like I said, this is a play the Giants have run a ton the past few weeks. And guess what's going to start happening? Especially when you're playing the single high safety. Guess what's going to start happening? This post is going to be there. It's going to be there. And I know they're seeing this. And Jones makes the right read on this. Like, he throws this ball right here. You're not going to throw the post here. You throw it to Slayton. Like, right read. But I guarantee you that they are telling him when they run a single high safety that eventually they're gonna try and stop this. So they haven't thrown the post on this yet. They're slamming down on this. This is gonna happen, and the post is gonna be open, just like it was 2020 Week 1 Darius Slayton touchdown versus the Steelers. So that's just something I want people to keep in mind. Like, watch out for a play action deep post in the next couple weeks. Good ball by Jones. Good timing. We got good protection all up front. Nice little grin for a pocket. Slayton's not able to catch it. 6 drops we dealt with this week. All right, next play. 3rd down. This is a play we talked about last week where it's a mix of what's called wave and mesh. Mesh is like the underneath where you run 2 drag routes, and then wave is kind of like the same exact concept, but it's either 10 or 15 yards down the field. They run at 10, but it's just done very sloppy. Like, this isn't run very good. This is 3rd down. The Jaguars send 6. They run a cover 1 blitz. So, how's it sloppy? Well, Tanner Hudson's doing the block and release. He's not getting any depth in his route. One, he's already short of the sticks. But there's no friction here within the routes. Like, that's too much spacing. And then on this side, Slayton gets pressed up. And that throws off the timing of it to where these guys should be crossing at like here and here. But because Slayton gets pressed up, it's here. And you just got good man coverage all over the board. Like, anyways, like, everybody's covered. Like, maybe you could throw this to Marcus Johnson, but I doubt you're pulling the trigger on that. And a good job by Jones seeing all of this mess. Seeing Trayvon Walker get around the corner on Evan Neal. Seeing they're in man coverage with a blitz and knowing, okay, guys are going to have their back turned. Let me get 13 yards on the ground and a 1st down. We'll see it from the other angle. You see, he wants to get that to Marcus Johnson right here. It's not there. Tuck it. Get your yards. 1st down, New York Giants. All right, next 3rd down. Now we're just running mesh. The Jaguars, they run a cover 0 blitz, which means they're sending everybody and then just five players in man coverage versus 5 receivers. So like man, 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 and then this deep safety is responsible for the running back. So when that happens, guess what? We've got a free rusher. Like every single offensive lineman is blocking somebody, but we've got a free rusher. So in mesh, like you see, this is a form of mesh. Now the Giants are actually building off of mesh here. As you see, Wandale's running the over on this instead of the actual mesh, which is something I think the Giants were building off of their playbook. And they were never able to get to this, whether it was protection or whatever. But nonetheless, this is, at least a form of mesh. But the first read on mesh is always this rail route by the running back. Usually you don't throw it because it's covered, but you've got a free rusher. He's the hot read. This safety's coming from depth. So it's 3rd and 5, and you've got 10 yards to go for the first down. And this is where it's like you just knew Saquon was going to make a play on this. We'll see it from the other angle. Like immediately sees the hot with Josh Allen, free rusher. Let's see, we got everybody blocked up that we can. Get the ball out, and you just know that Saquon's going to make a play on Andre Cisco. It was a fun safety at Syracuse, but you're not going to tackle Saquon one-on-one in the open field like that. Bam. First down, Giants. And then the touchdown to Darius Slayton. They got the look they wanted. You got press man coverage on Darius Slayton. They're playing a too high safety. Watch Jones. Gives a hard count. Bam. Guess what? This guy's rolling down. They're playing cover 3, which is man coverage if you're running verticals on the outside. It's basically cover 1 man coverage. Watch this release by Slayton. This is why Slayton being on the field, even though he's not some great wide receiver, brings you so much more value than really anybody else they've had out on the outside. Is this speed and this ability to beat press man. Like, look at this release. Bam. And now we're gone. And Jones is throwing a ball that's going into the end zone. At the 20. He's pulling the trigger. We're at the 24-yard line. Like, he knows. It's over. You'll see from the other angle, keeps the safety honest with his eyes, turns the head, throws it. Awesome throw. We'll see it from the other angle. But this is what the Giants offense needed. Some just straight drop back, like testing defenses vertically. Because eventually they're going to see, like, okay, they're not testing us vertically at all. But again, good job. Control the safety's eyes looking over here. Turn. Rip it. Great placement on this. Good leap by Darius Slayton. Bobbles it. But he ends up catching it, thankfully. And the Giants get their first touchdown on the first drive of the game this season. All right, on defense, we're going to go through a positive play because there's not a ton of positive plays, especially in the run game. But they did do well on this. You see the Jaguars use a lot of motion in their run game to get misdirection. So you see like that fake of the jet sweep. And then they run split zone where you have Evan Ingram, the tight end, coming wham block on the backside. So you fit the run pretty good on the front side. Like we're fitting well. Adore's in man on Ingram, so he's going to chase him a line. But just good job by Jihad Ward here. Good job by Jihad Ward seeing this cut block come. Like, pull your feet, and we're there. Good job by Nick Williams, 93 right here. Really good stuff. Tate Crowder jumping into this gap. Adore Jackson jumping in this gap. Like a really good run defense right there. And that all starts with Jihad Ward. Now some bad run defense. And this is where the misdirection killed the Giants. And this ends up being a touchdown for Travis Etienne. And you have an unbalanced line. Like, look, we got center, right guard, tight end. Left guard, left tackle, right tackle, or whichever. And then you put Evan Ingram in the backfield, Travis Etienne. So you bring this motion. You've got Ingram coming across the line of the scrimmage. And that affects players. Like Tate Crowder. He's chasing it. Adoree Jackson's obviously going to chase it because he's manned up. Ingram's able to get Timon Fox. Jihad Ward is playing this edge right here. And just, we've got no one in this gap. No one. Like someone's got to be responsible for this gap. And I think it's Tay Crowder. Like, here's what I will say. I know Tay Crowder's gap is not backside. Now, it doesn't help that Jalen Smith gets blocked on this. But it's just a really bad run fit. And the Jaguars get a touchdown. Back on offense. Giants run a play call called Dagger, which they've tried to run a bunch of times this year, and they've just never been able to get it successful, even though it's like one of my favorite play calls personally. And what is Dagger? It's essentially you've got a clear out from the slot usually, and then a dig from the outside, this deep in, and then some sort of underneath route. Like in this case, it's Daniel Bellinger on the shallow. And you're just trying to get it to him. You're trying to find a hole in his zone, get it to this outside receiver on the dig. If they play deep on it, you throw it to the tight end. And we finally get it. And a part of it is they added, this is Richie James. They put him on this over route, which I think is a way to help clear out some of the traffic over here, like occupy these linebackers. The Jaguars are in Tampa too, so Lloyd is chasing the middle of the field. Now, he probably should come down and close on this, but we finally get it. Like, you got this safety bailing out with the clear out. Lloyd's out here. They've got their eyes on the underneath. This is a 1st and 20. Like we're about to turn a 1st and 20 into a 2nd and 3. And we drop it. Like, look at Jones step up in the pocket on this. And we'll see it from the other angle. We got protection up front. DJ steps up. Makes it a little bit of an easier throw. Fires into it. I mean, I guess you could say put this ball right here. But listen, I'm not going to... I think DJ probably should put a better ball on him. But you've got to catch that, man. Like, you've got time. He's not putting a bullet on a 5-yard slant like that behind you. It's one thing if that's a slant. It's not. Like, I think you just need to be able to catch that. All right, back on the defense. What do we got? This is a 4th and 1. They motion Kirk in. Just too much space. Again, they're trying to get to... They're trying to essentially get to the 26, just past the 26. And we've got our DB's heels on the 21. Again, I understand that because you want to play up and play fast on this. But they don't even run like a good rub. And if there's just like any hesitation on this from Moreau, you're not getting there. And again, they don't get there. It's a 1st down. So I don't, this is Monday morning quarterbacking, but I don't think putting your heels right here is going to stop you from running or whatever you want to run. Like, you're sending everybody. They're going to have to get the ball out quick. They run this sprint out, and they get themselves a pretty simple 1st down and extend the drive. All right, next play. Back on offense already. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, this is a read option designed for Daniel Jones to keep it. So you got Saquon and Matt Breida in the backfield at this pony formation. Wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver. You fake this to Saquon. And then you bring Breida as the lead back. And because asking wide receivers and tight ends to just block out on the perimeter on this is hard, well, guess what you do? Especially when you're getting the QB, it's going to take you time to get outside here. Well, you get this player sucked in by this, and you block down. It's a lot easier to make for Bellinger to make this block. It's a lot easier for Slayton to just wall this off. And then you get Breida out there as a lead back. All you need to do is get a piece of him. And you got yourself a little 12-yard run for Daniel Jones. See it from this angle. You motion Saquon in. Sucks him in. Let's go. We're rolling. Crack. Blocking. Leading. They close this alley. Get to the outside. Speed. Number 2 rushing QB in the NFL, Daniel Jones. Next play. Did I forget a play on this? I think I forgot a run play on this. I was going to show the offense, but fortunately I forgot a play that was bad. So, but essentially they tried to a run play called Wham, and it failed miserably, which is one of my favorite run calls, but they did it really bad. All right, so we're on defense now, so I forgot that. Sorry about that. We've got a 2nd and 25. Couldn't ask for a better situation than that, right? Like 2nd and 25, we're forcing the Jaguars to punt. Not so fast. We're gonna run a rub on this. A wheel route. This receiver clearing out on the post, run a post wheel with a rub. Versus man coverage, which the Giants run. That's what they do. They run man coverage. I mean, they essentially ran man coverage on 75% of their plays in this game. And you just get Darnay Holmes smoked on this. Just run a simple post wheel with a rub. I guarantee this will probably be something the Giants maybe try and steal. Because it is a good play call versus when you get man coverage looks. And 2nd and 25. Get a 40-yard play. Actually, a 55-yard play because there was unnecessary roughness at the end of it. Again, see from this side, Lawrence has time. 40 yards. Love hits him late. 55 yards. That's frustrating stuff right there. All right, next play for the defense. This is where the defense really lucked out. Like this is game-changing stuff right here. This is a bad run fit by the defense. A bad run fit. So they have how many blockers we got? 6 blockers. We've got 7 in the box. Every gap should be accounted for. They are not pulling anybody. This should be easy play your gaps. Easy play your gaps. Like, it's very simple. Kayvon, you play this outside gap. Julian Love play here. Leonard Williams here. Jalen Smith here. Dexter Lawrence here. Tay Crowder here. Jahad Ward here. Very simple. It's as simple as that, unless you want to do some type of twist. But we're not doing that. Everybody plays their gap. But Tay Crowder just gets blocked up. Like, play slow on this. Like, play free, man. You see this ball's put in his chest. You're not going to be. Don't try it. He tries to put his shoulder into this. I know you want to keep your hips. Keep your hips square and rip through this. I mean, it gives him that crease. Good on Jalen Smith for being able to try and slow this down. Like, that's a bad fit by Tay. But then you got McKinney coming up. You got a little wobble. Pop that ball out. Julian Love picks it up, and the game is changed. Game-changing play. This guy's pumped. These two guys are sad. He's sad that Leonard Fournette was a first-round pick and he's playing well for the Bucs. I don't know if he's playing well this year for the Bucs, but he's played well for them in the past. All right, next play. We are back on offense. Giants run Dagger successfully again, but it's different this time. I don't even know if this is Dagger, but it's kind of the same exact concept, but it's different. Instead of using the clear out from the slot, which is usually what you do on Dagger, they use the clear out on the outside by Marcus Johnson. You put Wandale on the whip route for the shallow, And then you put David Sills on this dig. Run a little, cover 2 beater on the bottom here. Versus man coverage, you get Sills. DJ puts a good ball on him. Get yourself a chunk play. So the Giants have not been able to run Dagger successfully. Something that Jones has run successfully in his career. But they get it here. We're reading this side first, see if we got the look that we like. Pop back. I mean, basically a handoff to David Sills. Good route by Sills. Let's show the route by Sills. Good vertical sell on this. Give that little shimmy that you're going left. Bam. First down Giants. Chunk play. Big play for David Sills. All right. This is a bad run play for the Giants. They're in 2 high safeties, so you've got a light box. They motion Etienne. Toss. And he goes. Now, I will point out this on this. We just watched this. Watch the toss, but also watch Kayvon. I think we can dispel those doesn't chase down plays narratives. Because he chases him down on this. But how does this happen? So we get this toss. Ingram's cracking down on Jihad Ward. He can't make a play on this, right? You pull the tackle. And then Tay Crowder gets washed up in this. Trying to undercut it. So you have the receiver running a route which occupies Fabian Moreau. But at the end of the day, we still got 1 blocker for 2 defenders here. Like, that's a win. You get Julian Love down here in the alley. And I don't know what the coaching is on this, but Darnay tries to undercut this instead of taking on the block and just flying to the outside, which would have been a win on this. And I get he's a small corner versus a left tackle, but he undercuts this, and we'll see from the other angle. McKinney's not able to make the tackle. And Etienne's off to the races. I mean, you just play this outside. Julian Love is at least getting a shot at this tackle. You undercut this? I mean, Julian Love is playing inside of this. You undercut this? Well, now you just got Julian Love blocked. You're giving up a big, big play to Travis Etienne. So just not good stuff there. All right, next play on the offense. This is the interception that never happened with Daniel Jones, RPO. And I want to explain this. It's like, oh, he just threw it right to a linebacker. Let's talk about this. This is an RPO. And you see, you got Wandale in motion. We've got 31 chasing. We've got man coverage. So we got so it's safe to say we got man coverage here, man. And then you have this safety roll down. So you would expect that he's probably in man on the tight end. And then these 2 linebackers are responsible for Saquon. So if Saquon flares out here, you'd probably have man coverage here. If Saquon comes across the line of scrimmage, well, he'd be in man coverage. So that's what Daniel Jones is reading, and they are running an RPO. And he gets the look that he wants. Like, he's throwing this slant to Marcus Johnson. His read is this linebacker. This linebacker comes and flies up. So this is open. But Jaguars just called a great call against this at the right time, where this is a blitz. You put Lloyd in motion and man coverage on Saquon. He sees that this is an RPO and makes an awesome play on this. Like, heads up play by Devin Lloyd. But DJ's making the read. Like, this is the read that he is looking at. It's like, all right, he flows in. I got the slant. It's there. And the Jaguars just they lucked out with roughing the passer on this. Not to say that was a bad call, but it doesn't affect the call. Or it doesn't affect the outcome of the play. No one picks this up anyways. Like, this is what DJ's read is on this. It is very simple. It is fake the read, fake the handoff. He fills. All right, we have the grass we're looking for in a slant. Now, in a perfect world, you could say, well, pull it here. Like, be able to see this and pull it, but that's a little too Monday morning quarterbacking for me. You know, and we know Jones isn't really reckless with the ball anymore. He's had one interception that he's essentially accounted for this season, which is the week one, like the one versus the Dallas Cowboys David still slips on. All right, here I want to criticize Saquon Barkley, which we really haven't done in these film reviews. You know, it's not overly critical, but this is the stuff that has gotten Saquon Barkley in trouble in the past, and he hasn't done it this year. But he did do this on a second one after a really good first and one run, and the Giants end up getting a turnover downs on this. But this is the Saquon. This is the Saquon that was frustrating, even when he was at his best, like as his rookie year, or is at his best before this season. Is this? And Saquon said in his press conference there was plays where he wanted back, where he just wasn't aggressive in the hole, and this is one. Like, you're running counter. Glowinski's kicking out here. Myrick is blocking this. Go. Like, yeah, are you going to have to face somebody up? Absolutely, but you need 1 yard. And Saquon flat out stops in this hole. And it'd be one thing if he was to be like right here, stop and bounce this, which obviously you don't want to do because you have Cisco, the safety, out here. But stopping right here, like, you're not going to come back around on this. Ideally, I think he wanted to get across here, and he maybe didn't trust that Chris Myrick was going to come in and block this linebacker. But that's the type of stuff that got Saquon. That's where, when people were critical of Saquon last year, they had a right to be critical. Like, obviously, did the injury affect him? Did the offensive line affect him? Obviously, at 100%. But he did contribute to some of his lack of success because he consistently did that. Now, thankfully, this year, that hasn't happened. Like, that's been very far and few between. But I did want few and far between. I wanted to just I just wanted to point that out, though, because I don't think I've said like one negative thing on Saquon this year on the film reviews. All right, next play, or the third down doesn't work, ball gets tipped. Now we got 4th and 2. We're going for it. Totally agree with this call. They're stacking this up. They've got man coverage across the board. You run this out with Wandale, slant with Marcus Johnson. We've got it. We've got ourselves a first down. First and goal at the 1. Giants are going to get 7 points. But we drop the ball. That's a 7-point swing right there. That's 7 points left on the board right there. We've got a miscommunication up front. I don't know who the blame on this is because everyone's doing something different up front on the offensive line. Like Glowinski's checking left, Feliciano's going right. If this was a true slide right, Glowinski's not checking on this. He's just moving to the right. Miscommunication on this. Doesn't matter. DJ puts it on him. Drop. That's 7 points left on the board right there. The drops were huge this week. Sorry that this play is starting like this, but it's the way that the film was clipped up. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, these next 2 plays. Biggest 2 plays of the game for the defense. I'm not going to count that fumble because they didn't play great defense on that. They kind of just lucked into a fumble bite because ETN had bad ball security. So 3rd and 1. This is beautiful. They run the Wildcat. They got ETN, Kirk in the backfield. They're pulling these 2 guys. Giving this fake. Quincy Roche. He played 2 snaps in this game. He's in on 3rd and 1. He's got to stay honest on this. Like, that's his responsibility. His responsibility is here. McKinney's responsibility is here. Jalen Smith's responsibility is if they cut this up. Roche plays his responsibility. Good eyes, sees it. Now get flat down this line. Flat down this line. Good job by Jihad Ward taking on this block. And then Tay Crowder. He comes in, doesn't wrap up, gives the shoulder, but because Quincy Roche is there, we've got a 4th and 1. Quincy Roche plays 2 plays in all of the game. And he makes one of the biggest plays of the game. Now we got 4th and 1. They're going to run a QB sneak. We got Dexter Lawrence, Jihad Ward, Jalen Smith, Leonard Williams, Ryder Anderson, hands in the dirt. Kayvon Thibodeau. We're all going to slant in. We're all going to slant in. Leonard Williams and Ryder Anderson, stand these dudes up. We're squeezing the center with Dex and Leo. We got Jihad Ward shooting this gap. And again, Ryder Anderson, a practice squad call-up, standing up the offensive lineman. And what is that? Kayvon Thibodeau shooting in this gap, closing it. He's got nowhere to go. And what does that allow? That allows Jalen Smith and Julian Love to crash off the ends. Tay Crowder to fight through this. Stop him from getting it. Turnover on downs. That's the biggest play of the game for the defense right there. It's the biggest play of the game there for the defense. That's awesome stuff. All right, back on offense. So we've talked about this wave concept. We've talked about this since preseason, this wave concept, which we talk about is either 10 yards or 15 yards. The Giants have been running at 10 yards. I think that's partly because of personnel. But it's, usually you're running out of play action from under center, and then you have these guys running 2 crossing routes on each other, like meshing up. And then you have the go or post here at the bottom. This is, again, Mike Kafka building. This is what I love the most about Mike Kafka and the Giants offense is they build off of stuff they've put on film, throwing tendency breakers at defenses, and that's what they do. So at this point, what is the whole defense thinking? They're running wave. He's going to come across. He's going to come across. They're going to try and get some space. Wrong. We're stopping on it and popping out. Turning these in the corners. I love this. I love this. Now, it doesn't end up working out for the Giants. But I love this stuff. This is like the stuff that I nerd out about football. We'll talk about the throw and decision by Jones on this. You see he reads on this, doesn't have what he wants. Turns, pulls the trigger. I don't hate this throw, even though it doesn't work out. It's a little dangerous, but I kind of like these tight window throws. Like play action, step up, you're reading and it's not there. Turn your feet. He gets the look he wants. To get this in here, Rayshawn Jenkins makes a good play getting his hand on it. I like this throw. Defender makes a great play on this. But I do like that throw. I'm not going to get mad at DJ for that throw. We'll see. And we'll see it from this side. I mean, maybe you want him to throw this to Chris Myrick on this, which I guess is the safer throw. But I like this throw. I'm not going to be mad at that at all. I'm not going to play the results on that. Good protection up front. Just doesn't work out. Next play on the offense, what do we got? Oh, this is, I thought, Saquon's best run of the game. Rayshawn Jenkins, number 2, comes in and flies in and fills this gap. Cut. This is closed off. You've got everyone overflowing this way. Cut back. Get off the Wandale block. Next play was the pass interference to Slayton, and then they do a QB sneak to Daniel Jones for the touchdown. This is where Saquon makes a huge difference. Most running backs, this is a loss. 99% of the running backs in the league, this is probably a loss. And again, this isn't a bad job in the offensive line either. Like, everyone's blocking somebody. We're running against a stacked box here. And Saquon makes the most out of it. Last couple plays on defense. This is the second to last drive of the game. Giants are running a cover 1 blitz. So you see you got man coverage. Now, where this gets changed up is you see Jihad Ward, he's part of the front. He drops back in the coverage. Now you have this little mesh point right here. That's muddied up for Trevor Lawrence. You have man coverage, and then you put Tay Crowder and Jalen Smith on a blitz. You got man coverage across the board. But guess what? Christian Kirk is going to work a double move on Darnay Holmes, and he's going to get it to success. Like, he gets his hips open, stacks him, pops out. He's won. But the balls are inaccurate. Why? And this is my worry about Darnay Holmes just in this defense, is he just struggles with these. He gets defensive holding calls on these. But this is where pressure breaks pipes in Wink Martindale, and this front makes their money. Let's watch Kayvon Thibodeau on this. Did he have a sack in this game? No. But he sure did rip through the shoulder of this dude, bend the edge, get held, get choked, and apply pressure. You get Jalen Smith playing here. Dex playing here. This D lineman playing here. Jihad Ward pops out. Dex comes out here, and now you got a free rusher. Incomplete, even though the dude's wide open. That's where pressure breaks pipes. Pressure breaks pipes. Now we got a 3rd and 5. Second to last drive of the game. Cover 1, but we got 2 high safeties. Cover 2 man, not cover 1. We got man coverage across the board, and we just get Adoree Jackson being better than Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's going to run this little whip route with the slant and then return it outside. Just good footwork by Adoree. Like, closing in on this if this is the slant. That's not there. Whip route. We're here. Great footwork, stays right with him. His shadow is in his shadow. Get a hand on it. That's good stuff. We get some decent pressure up front. Let's watch Leonard Williams on this. Spin out. Get in that throw window. Force him out. Kayvon working around the edge. Force him to get this ball out a little quicker than he wants to. And they got to punt and give the Giants the ball back. And now we got the next drive. The Giants ran the same play in different facets of it 8 times, which is called power-o, which is essentially where you have a fullback as a kick-out block and then pulling a guard from the backside as a lead blocker. Ran it 8 times. Now they bootlegged off of it one time, which we'll see. But they ran exactly the same play 8 times in a row and got 57 yards and a field goal. First time, you got Chris Myrick as fullback. You've got a heavy offensive line. You got Devery Hamilton in here. We've got Tanner Hudson and Chris Myrick in the backfield. Let's go. Let's motion Chris Myrick. We're going to put these guys on down blocks. Down, down, down. Chris Myrick kicking out. Great job, Chris Myrick. Josh Azudu. Devin Lloyd wants to play this, play tight on this. We're going to wrap around. We're going to get the helmet outside. This linebacker is going to come over the top and try and fill this gap. Bam. Saquon bounce it. First down. Wish he would have stayed in bounds, but it is a first down. Let's run it again. Let's run it back. Motion Chris Myrick. Same thing. Kick out. Down blocks. Josh Azudu. He doesn't want to play this tight on the down block. We'll kick him out. We'll get our helmet on the inside of him. Would like Tyree Phillips to come off of this a little quicker. But guess what? Saquon's going to run through this tackle. First down. Stay in bounds, Saquon Barkley. And then my favorite play call of the day. You run the same exact play, except for you're bringing the motion from the backside. The same exact play. Look. Kick out. Down blocks. Pull the guard. Lead through. Except for this time, you thought DJ hiding the ball. And we're booting out. And we got a first down, New York Giants. Slide on them. And the Giants are 7-1, even though they end up giving the ball back way too early on this drive. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. I'm really enjoying these film reviews. Is a huge part of it because the Giants can't stop losing. Absolutely. But I think these have been fun, and a big part of it is just I really love what Mike Kafka puts on film every single week, and I just look for new stuff and stuff they build off. So, appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We'll see you on the next one. Let's go Big Blue.